from his grandmother. Legends. Most boys his age dismissed such stories as nothing more than bedtime tales. But not Mateo.
Mateo, though overwhelmed, felt a surge of determination. He had always dreamed of an adventure. Now one had come to him, terrifying, real, but also full of purpose. He looked at Luna, then at Zorro. "I'll help you," he said firmly. "Both of you. I don't know how, but I won't let that sorcerer win." Zorro smirked. Mateo lowered her gently onto a patch of moss. His chest still heaved from running, but relief washed over him.
Of course. My name is Zorro, and I've come because you are about to begin a journey. One that will test your courage, your heart, and your loyalty.
You've been waiting for me.
You can talk?
For the first time since the night began, they were safe, but only for the moment.
Of course. My name is Zorro, and I've come because you are about to begin a journey.
A journey? What are you talking about?
Without another word, Mateo ran, his heart thundering. Zorro bounded after him, paused silent.
Slowly, carefully, he rose to his feet and stepped toward the grove. The rustling stopped. Out from the shadows emerged the most striking fox Mateo had ever seen. Its fur gleamed a fiery orange. Its eyes were a piercing amber, and it moved with the grace of a dancer.
The bells of Toledo rang out again, echoing through the ancient streets. Mateo felt a shiver.
Luna leapt from Mateo's arms, limping slightly but raising her glowing eyes toward the wolves. She hissed, and a sudden flash of green light burst from her gaze. One wolf shrieked and vanished into mist. Mateo blinked. "You have magic?" "Not much," Luna gasped, panting. "The curse weakens me." But enough to hold them back. Another wolf lunged at Mateo, snapping jaws inches from his face. Fear shot through him, but he raised the branch again, striking with
Do you really think someone is following us? I don't think, boy. I know. The sorcerer has servants, creatures that crawl where men dare not go.
Zorro bared his teeth, a fierce fire in his eyes. "We fight, or we die." The wolves circled them, growling, their eyes fixed on Luna. Mateo's heart hammered in his chest. He had no sword, no weapon, just his courage. He spotted a fallen branch nearby and snatched it up, gripping it like a staff. One of the wolves lunged. Mateo swung with all his strength, striking its side. To his shock, the branch passed through the creature, as if striking smoke, but the wolf still staggered back, howling. "They're not fully flesh," Zorro called out, leaping onto another wolf and biting at its throat. "But they can bleed if you strike hard enough." Luna leapt from Mateo's arms, limping slightly, but raising her glowing eyes toward the wolves.
We can't fight them all! Then we don't! We run!
There, tangled in a cruel iron trap, was a cat. Its fur was white with gray patches, its eyes wide with fear and shining like emeralds. The trap was cutting into its leg, and every movement made it whimper. Mateo knelt beside it, his heart aching. Oh no, who would do this? The cat hissed in pain but didn't pull away when Mateo gently touched its paw. Zorro stood.
The valley is helping us.
In eyes narrowing. Humans can be cruel, the fox said softly, but not you, boy. Will you help it? Mateo nodded firmly. Of course I will. He tried to open the trap with his bare hands, but it was old and rusted, and it wouldn't budge. His fingers hurt from the effort, but he refused to stop. Finally, Zorro stepped forward, his teeth glinting. With a swift, powerful bite, he snapped the metal hinge. Luna's eyes blazed with emerald fire as she raised her head. From her body burst a wave of green light, forcing several wolves back. But the effort made her stumble. The sorcerer snarled, his patience thinning. Enough games! He lifted his staff high, and a torrent of black lightning shot toward Mateo. The boy froze, but Zorro darted in front of him, taking the blast full in the chest. The fox cried out and collapsed, smoke rising from his fur. "Zorro!" Mateo screamed, dropping to his knees beside him. The fox's eyes flickered weakly, but he managed a crooked smile. "Don't stop, boy. Finish this rage unlike anything Mateo had ever felt surge through him." He rose, gripping his glowing staff, and faced the sorcerer head-on. "I'm not afraid of you," the sorcerer sneered. "You should be." They clashed. Lightning met light, shadow met courage. Mateo swung again and again, each strike burning with the strength of the valley. The sorcerer countered with dark fire, each blast shattering the mirrors around them. The valley roared with energy, as if the land itself was watching. Luna staggered to the spring at the valley's heart, her body trembling. She dipped her paw into the glowing waters. Instantly, light exploded around her, wrapping her in a cocoon of silver and green. The sorcerer's eyes widened in fury. "No! Stop her!" Mateo stood between him and Luna, battered and breathless but unyielding. "You'll have to go through me." The sorcerer hurled one final blast of dark fire. Mateo raised his staff, shouting with every ounce of strength, "I will protect her." The staff blazed brighter than the sun. Light and shadow collided in a thunderous explosion that shook the valley. The mirrors shattered into 1,000 shards, the creatures of darkness screamed and vanished, and the sorcerer was hurled back, his form unraveling into smoke. With a roar of rage, he dissolved into nothingness. When the light faded, silence returned. Mateo fell to his knees, exhausted, his staff broken in two. Is it over?" A soft voice answered. "Yes." He looked up and gasped. Luna no longer stood as a small, frail cat. Before him was a woman, tall and graceful, her silver hair flowing like moonlight, her green eyes shining like jewels. She wore a robe of white and emerald, and magic shimmered around her like a living aura. "Mateo," she said, her voice warm and powerful, "you have freed me. I am no longer cursed. I am once again the guardian of this land." The boy's eyes filled with tears of relief. "Luna, you're free." She smiled and knelt before him. "Thanks to you." And to Zorro, Mateo turned and saw the fox stirring weakly. To his astonishment, Zorro was no longer just a fox. Where the animal had lain now stood a man, tall, lean, with fiery red hair and eyes the same amber gold as before. He looked down at Mateo with a sly grin. "Well, boy, looks like the mirrors showed the truth after all." Mateo laughed through his tears. "You're human," Zorro shrugged. "I was once. The valley gave me back what I lost." The three of them stood together at the heart of the valley. The boy who had found courage, the fox who had found his true self, and the guardian who had been freed from her curse. The dawn broke over the mountains, the first rays of sunlight touching the shattered mirrors.
You're braver than I expected, boy.
The boy returned home changed forever. The fox walked beside him, and the guardian watched over them.